All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we get into the most overrated celebrities. We got the fans' opinions, their submissions on who they believe to be the most overrated celebrities in the game right now, sports, movies, music, acting, any celebrity type. We find out who the most overrated is. So I'm excited about that. We also get into some current events, sort of, and a really exciting Cage fact. Very exciting. Get excited. It's very exciting. All right. That's all coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody had a good week. Mine was okay. Good, not great. Got a lot of stuff done, though. I've been working on, I just started this thing, and I'll be a few days in by the time you tune into this episode, by the time it launches. Excuse me. I've been doing this time auditing sort of thing where I just write down pretty much by the hour all the crap I did that hour, everything, work, social media, scrolling, bathroom, taking the dog out, everything, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever exercise I did, everything I do to see exactly what the hell I'm doing throughout my day. And I'm trying to do that audit so I can see where I can cut out some of the garbage and manage my time better and get more productivity out of my day, because I have a lot of stuff I have to do with my life and that I want to do with my life. And I think that if I can work on my time management and be more efficient and see where I can cut out some of the mumbo jumbo, if you will, and I will, then I can fill in that extra time, that new extra time with productivity and things I want to do with my life and things that Randy wants to do with his life. You got to give the big guy a good life. Partner in crime over here. He's laying down behind the camera like a human, head on pillow, staring at me, half asleep. Not satisfied, not happy at all with the situation, because he wants to be probably eating food and running outside chasing squirrels and stuff. Instead, he has to listen to his big nose idiot pal of mine. So anyway, that's what I got going on right now. I wanted to get into current events. I was going to provide some current events, but I don't know if you paid attention in the last week and a half, but it's been an absolute dumpster fire in the world of current events, specifically in the political world, foreign policy world, all that garbage. Between the cocaine in the White House that the Secret Service said their investigation is done, they couldn't find it, so they couldn't find who brought it in, whose it was, so they're just going to end the investigation just like that. Between that and now the administration is saying they're going to go against the Supreme Court order and do the loan forgiveness, which is really just a debt transfer to the taxpayers, like we discussed. In fact, a couple of weeks ago when we talked about it, this is exactly what we said. They're not going to forgive the student loans. They're going to transfer the debt to the taxpayer. So now the money, they're still getting the money, and it's just coming from somebody else now, not the responsible parties. So not happy about that. Here's the reason why. They said it's a broken system, a broken loan system process, and we shouldn't have to punish our citizens for it, and our young adult American citizens for it. Now, without getting too much on a soapbox and getting too angry about this, a couple things I take issue with this. One, as a student loan recipient and former young idiot, who didn't know anything about student loans. The one thing I do know is that as an adult, the choices you make have consequences, and you have to live with those consequences. Okay? I was very stupid and ignorant and naive when it came to doing student loans and applying for them. I was so stupid, in fact, most, if not all of mine, the vast majority, I'd say 90% of my student loans were private student loans through banks and not federal student loans, which are now being forgiven. So I was double dumb, and I got all private student loans. So it just doesn't affect me. So maybe that's why I'm angry. I don't know. I couldn't care less, honestly, about that portion because I'm almost done paying my student loans off anyway. But this is just what I've bitched about in the past with parents not teaching their kids self-reliance and independence and how to live with your actions and taking responsibility. This is just, you did this, we'll take care of it for you. We'll continue coddling you and not preparing you for real life whatsoever, so that when there's real hardships, you will fold like a cheap suit. The second thing I take issue with this is that the process that they say is broken and unfair is their process. This is federal student loans they're talking about forgiving. This is not private bank loans. These are the loans that they've been approving all willy-nilly to all these students, and they're in cahoots with the colleges so the colleges can continue jacking up tuitions at exorbitant rates, even though they have the money to afford it. The colleges, they have enough money. Some of them have enough endowment to pay for all the students' tuition. Students' tuition. How you doing? But they play this little game where they know the government's going to approve all the student loans so they can keep jacking up the tuition. It doesn't matter. It's going to get approved. And then at the end of the day, the government's still going to get their money back because they're just transferring the debt to the taxpayer. So you'll see small percentage points or bigger percentage points of our taxes go up, our federal taxes, because of this, so that they can get their VIG. Yet they continue to approve student loans blindly. Everybody approve. Oh, you want to go to college? Approve. And they're just redoing this cycle. If they're going to do this crazy, drastic forgiveness of student loans, cut it here and then stop giving out federal student loans. Take all that money that was going to federal student loans and put it in anything else. Government grants for schools so that schools can pay for other stuff that'll actually help the students, and put caveats behind it, what you can actually use the money for, so that students can actually experience cool shit in college instead of just paying for some ball bag professor who's 90 years old and refuses to retire what his thoughts are of the world, even though his thoughts are back from the Vietnam War era. Let's actually care about people who want to get a higher education instead of just this facade, this fake care. Anyway, now I'm heated. I didn't want to do this, and I'm heated. And it's not because I'm paying my student loans. I don't get any forgiven. I actually paid my federal student loans off years ago. They're done. They're paid off. I didn't have much to do with that. So they got their nut from me. And now they're going to get more because I'm going to be paying some other ball bag student loans because it was forgiven. So, not happy about this whole thing. That's my personal opinion. Is I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a cop-out. I think the government should take responsibility of its actions for once in my lifetime and start holding other people accountable for their actions too. Because it's fake. They say they're going to forgive them. The process is broken. It's their process, but they're still going to get paid because they're just transferring the debt to someone. If they were actually forgiving the money, the loans, they would just eat the cost. and change the process and fix what they created. But they're not doing that because they need that money because Ukraine needs more tanks and more support. And speaking of which, the Inspector General of the Oversight Committee of the Financing and Support to Ukraine, they're trying to push him out. They pushed a bill or an order to try to get the Inspector General off of the oversight team for the Ukraine support. Now, if you don't know what an Inspector General is, think of it as internal affairs for the government, internal affairs, for the police force where they investigate cops. The Inspector General oversees the government workers for corruption and crime and fraud and malfeasance for malfeasance's sake. And they're supposed to be holding them accountable. In fact, JPL3 was an Inspector General for a while for one of the counties he worked for. And without giving too much information, he ended up leaving that job because they were trying to push him out and not let him do his job because the corruption was so rampant. The criminal activity within that particular area was so rampant that he would have brought the whole county to a screeching halt, and they wouldn't let him do it. They were trying to sully him and prevent him from actually doing the job. So he's like, screw you guys, I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not doing this. I'm taking all the intel I have. I know where all the bodies are buried, and I'm going somewhere else. And if you think you're going to dick around with me, think again, because I'll burn it all to the ground. And now that's what they're trying to deal with this Inspector General for the Ukraine support. They're trying to push him out so that he can't do his job and hold them accountable for the billions and billions of taxpayer dollars that are going over to Ukraine. And then renowned actor Zelensky is out there begging for more money. He said, thanks for the money. I know it's your hard-earned money, but it's going to us, so thank you. That's what he pretty much said. It's going to people to fight, so thanks. Not to you guys, it's going to us. So thanks for that gift. So we'll see how that goes. The Inspector General of the Afghanistan Oversight Committee is likely going to get pushed out, or maybe the Clintons will suicide him very soon because he keeps digging up miles and miles of documents proving fraud and corruption and poor handling of that whole debacle that we discussed in the past. I got to stop talking about this. I'm so over this garbage with our own country shitting on its citizens and laughing all the way to the bank. It's just disgusting. I can't do it. I keep saying I'm not going to do it, and then I get roped right back in. So that's on me. That's my fault for being mentally weak and letting it suck me right in again. I apologize for that. On to better news, though, at least. The Yankees still stink. Okay? They are, I don't know if they're 500 ball club right now at the All-Star break. By the time you listen to this, the All-Star break is obviously over. They had one person in the All-Star game this year, Garrett Cole. That's embarrassing. There was a time where the New York Yankees had almost the entire starting lineup was Yankees. Now they can barely get one guy in there. They stink. But the news I want to bring up, the update here, is that we're approaching the trade deadline. And if you guys remember what I said back in April during spring training and really right at the end of the offseason, the Yankees have to do something at the trade deadline if they even want to sniff playoff competition. So I wanted to bring that up. It's more like an alert, a reminder that the trade deadline's coming up in a few weeks. And we'll see if the Yankees make any moves. If they don't, then like I said back then, I will guarantee they don't compete in the playoffs whatsoever. They may not even make the playoffs. So please focus. Let's focus on that. Okay? If you want to get mad or happy or hopeful about anything, let's do it about sports. I'll stop with this garbage political current event crap. That's exactly what it is. It's crap. And I got to get my brain into a more positive space. So that's on me. I take ownership of that. Anyway, Yankees stink. Follow them to see how much they stink the rest of the season. With that, let's get into the fun stuff and shit talk some celebrities. But first, step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Huggies Limited Edition Look What You Made Me Poo Taylor Swift Concert Tour Edition diapers. If you just spent your life savings on tickets to the new Taylor Swift Eras Tour and don't want to miss a single second of the 12-hour concert because you had to go take a dump, then get yourself a pack of Huggies Limited Edition Look What You Made Me Poo diapers. Bedazzled with sequins and frills and glitter and jewels to match your concert-going rompers and friendship bracelets, these Huggies will be sure to keep you dry and keep you in your seat so you can shit while singing along to Antihero. So to get your concert diapers today, visit www.midnightrain.com and use the promo code SHAKEITOFF for 29% off your pack of diapers. This is a real thing going on right now, folks, just to let you know. Taylor Swift tour is going on. I like Taylor. We'll talk more about her later. And people are wearing diapers and actually posting about it on social media that they're wearing diapers under their dresses and stuff so that they can stay in their seats the entire 3-4 hour concert so they don't miss a single song. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if you've seen stories, if we've seen any stories of sports fans doing that. I'm trying to think if I've remember seeing any stories of sports fans doing that for like the Super Bowl or World Series or anything like that. I just can't imagine adult people doing that for a concert tour, a concert song. Once, if you miss one song by going pee-pee, I don't get it. You're filming it on your Snapchat the whole entire concert anyway, so you're going to have the video footage. So go take a quick pee-pee break. I don't get that. Well, again, we'll talk about it more later. Anyway, the Cage fact. Very exciting stuff. Nic Cage has another new movie coming out this year. Yeah, you heard that right. Another new movie. Not Unbearable Weight that came out last year. Not Renfield that already came out. Not the Devil one. Devil Knows You're Dead. The one with Joel Kinnaman where Nic Cage is the bad guy in the back of the car. It's not that one. He's got another one coming out. Also, he's about to be in that video game, and he was the CGI cameo in The Flash. So in August of this year, he's got a movie coming out called The Retirement Plan. Okay, I watched the trailer. If I remember to do it, I'll post a link up here in the top left, top right of your YouTube screens to watch the trailer. And it's basically Jimmy Buffett meets John Wick. Nic Cage is an old retired assassin, apparently. And some bad guys kidnap his family, and he has to go take care of business. And he's dressed like Jimmy Buffett. Beard, long gray hair, Hawaiian shirt, Margaritaville. And the trailer is 1 minute and 25 seconds of him beating the shit out of and killing every guy he comes across in the trailer. So, needless to say, I can't wait to see that one in theaters in August. There's no hard date yet. They didn't say when in August, but I will be there. In fact, my parents are supposed to be coming to visit me sometime in August, and they better not come when that movie's released because they'll be sitting at home with Randy for at least 3 hours while I go enjoy that film. Or they can come with me. Either or, I'm going to see that movie on release. So go check out that trailer. I'm very excited for that. It's awesome. It's awesome. Ron Perlman's in it. He played Beast from the TV show Beauty and the Beast. He was in Sons of Anarchy. He was also Hellboy. The one guy who was in Ghostbusters, the black guy, I forgot his name. Crap. Ghostbusters. That guy. He's in it, so I'm very excited for that. Can't wait. At the trailer, look, Nic Cage is so back. And every time I say that, you think it's over, and he just comes right back. He's never really left. But he is so on top of the world right now with banger after banger after banger. I've never seen a streak like this. I've never seen a streak like this in at least in over a decade. Maybe since Nic Cage's last 90 streak of action movies. I don't know. He only put, there was only a few that were that good, and certainly not all of them in the same year. This is unrivaled. This is like 80s era Stallone and Schwarzenegger style blockbuster hits. Crazy. He's just on it. He's just on one. I don't know if he's doing Hollywood steroids or he made a deal with the devil or what it is, but he's on one, and I'm absolutely here for it. So that's the Cage fact. We'll move on over to the Junction and spin the logo up. We're talking about overrated celebrities. And this is a good excuse for people to shit talk people who are better than us. And I'm here for that too, because sometimes these celebrities need to be knocked down a peg, especially the ones on this list, because they're overrated. So we'll get right into it. The first one here is from the Wet Cat. And he said he believes the most overrated celebrity to be Mark Wahlberg, the biggest overactor out there. And I don't necessarily disagree. I like Wahlberg. I watch his movies, but he is definitely an overactor. He is definitely a rapper and model style guy turned actor. And because he just had such magnetic energy around him, he just kept getting the movies and the parts. But he does I think he overacts as well. I still like him though. Still like his movies. All right. Next one here. Taylor Swift. I don't remember who put this down, but I'm not going to. This is a hot take for some people. I'm not going to reveal that person. Randy, stop licking. No pee-pee. But a lot of people think she's overrated. Now, I like Taylor Swift. I really do. Okay? In fact, there was a time, and I believe I mentioned this before, there was a time where I wanted to write her a letter saying that the most American thing she can do as a country star and now a pop star is date and marry somebody who served their country, aka me. So instead of these other celebrities that never work out for her and they treat her like garbage and they don't respect her and they don't treat her like the princess she should be treated as. Whereas somebody willing to sacrifice their life for this country might be in a better position to provide for that person as far as emotionally goes and knowing the needs and being able to sacrifice for somebody else. So just saying, Taylor. Anyway, that being said, I also don't believe Taylor Swift should be garnering this level of cult-like following. I think she's great. I think she's been through a lot of shit that she's powered through and she's come out clean on the other side. And that gives her a little bit more of like a prestige about her. But people wearing diapers and and sitting outside of stadiums and arenas because they didn't pay for their concert tickets or they were sold out and standing out there listening all night long, standing like that, like animals in diapers, shitting and pissing themselves over a live concert that, spoiler alert, not many, if any, singers, what are they called? Artists, musical artists, are better live than they are on their album. Most of the time, they're not that great live because they're dancing around, they're moving, they get tired. They can't do 15 takes in a row to get the song right. Can't take breaks. They're moving for 2 to 4 hours straight, dancing, singing, moving and shaking, trying to make it work, and they get tired. And it's not the same. But the experience and saying I got to go, I get it. I've been to concerts before. I just went to William Joel not too long ago. I say not too long ago. It was like a year ago. But I went to see him, and it was a phenomenal time. It was a great memory. So I get that part. But I am not wearing a goddamn diaper as an adult to make sure I don't miss a single Billy Joel lyric. I could just listen to it again on Spotify, and I could still say I went to the concert and experienced it all. You're not going to miss anything that drastic at a Taylor Swift concert that's gonna change people's lives forever, unless like another 9/11 happens. That's usually the only way something life-changing happens at concerts or events like that, is when something bad happens. And then maybe you might be thanking yourself that you went to the bathroom to take a dump and you didn't get caught in the crowd and the mass chaos that went on around you because of a negative situation. So I'll leave the diapers at home. I don't understand the obsession with somebody so much so that you're willing to defecate on yourself for them, for a stranger you never met before. I wouldn't even do that for Nic Cage. I'd probably piss my pants if I met him, but I'm pissing my pants. And then I'll go change my pants and I'll compose myself. I'll come back. I'm not going to wear a diaper and wait for him to show up like a nut job. My psychosis is focused on other things, not shitting my pants for some celebrity. So I could see why people think she's overrated. Like I said, I like Taylor Swift. I think the obsession around it is overrated. It's too much. And the whole fact that if you say anything not 1,000,000,000% positive towards Taylor Swift, then you like hate America. Then you're a communist, fascist, whatever made up word people are going to label you as. If you say, yeah, Taylor Swift's good, she's not my favorite, then you're a monster to these people. That's something I don't understand either. Like, give me a break. Look, like I said, Nic Cage is the greatest to ever do it. But I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody that I think that they're a moron or a psycho or a Nazi because they don't like Nic Cage as much as I do. You're a human being. There's plenty of other people you can like, and that's okay. You don't have to get all bent out of shape about it. Anyway, Taylor Swift. Hot take. Thank you for that submission, though. The next one here, this person put anybody with the last name Kardashian or Jenner. Yeah. As LA Knight says, yeah. That's a wrestler. Bone Crusher would know that one. Thank you, Bone Crusher. You get it. Not one Kardashian in the history of the Kardashians can I say definitively did anything to deserve the celebrity that they get, the obsession that they have, that people have over them. I don't understand it. If anything, Caitlyn Jenner might be the only one that deserves any sort of hype or recognition whatsoever. Not because he chopped his pee-pee off and turned into a woman and hid the whole running over a person and getting away with it because they switched over to a woman and now nobody wanted to do anything about it. But the guy won like 1 billion medals in the Olympics for swimming back when he was doing guy stuff. And he earned that recognition. Everybody else in that family, tell me what they did. The one Kardashian was one of the lawyers for the O.J. Simpson trial. I think that person's dead now. That's it. That's all she wrote. The rest of them, one did sex with with what's her name's brother, Ray J. What is her name? Not Monica. Brandy. Brandy's brother, Ray J. They did sex on camera, which was all like planned by the mother, Kris Jenner, or whatever her name is. Don't you think it's funny that the father is named Caitlyn Jenner and the mother is named Kris? She's got the man haircut, whatever. Anyway, that's all she did to get famous. They strategically put out a porno of her own daughter, and now she has a bunch of lines of clothing and makeup and all this other stuff. And then the other three of them got famous because of that. They created a TV show around them, and they were all mostly unattractive people that did a whole bunch of plastic surgery and Botox and fake butt injections to turn into completely different human beings. And now everybody just sucks them off like they're goddesses. And to this day, I still don't know what they've actually contributed positively to society at all. At all. So if somebody gets it, please tell me. If somebody understands why they're so famous and why it makes sense, make it make sense to me, please, because I don't get it. All right. Thank you for that submission there, fan. The next one here, Pete Davidson. Speaking of Kardashians, if you don't know, Pete Davidson dated Kim Kardashian and then they got engaged for like an hour. Yeah, look, I like Pete Davidson. He's pretty funny sometimes. He's been doing pretty decent in movies. I don't get it. I don't get why he is skyrocketed so high up on the prestige list of obsessive celebrities. He's pretty funny. His comedy's pretty funny. He was on SNL for a while, and his fame came from dating Ariana Grande and getting engaged way too fast. And then they broke up. And then he's just dated all these super hot celebrities. A couple he's got engaged to way too fast, and they broke up. So he's famous for being too clingy and for not finding happiness independently within himself, but depending on hot celebrity women for his love and affection and happiness. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it seems like right now, based on the fact that he has a jeweler on retainer to make engagement rings at any given moment to these people. So I don't get the hype with Pete Davidson. Like I said, I like his movies when they're out. I don't go see them in theaters. I wait for them to be on VHS and then I watch them. They're pretty good, entertaining movies. His comedy's pretty good and entertaining. Pretty good and entertaining. That's it. Pete Davidson's pretty good and entertaining. I don't understand the rest of the hype. Don't get it. Thank you for that submission. I couldn't agree more. Next one here. There's a hot take too. Will Smith. Now, you might not think it's a hot take as much now with the whole slapping Chris Rock and being a cuck to his toxic, controlling, abusive wife and his downfall. He's had a couple of real stinkers lately in the past 5 or 10 years. But if you think back, now I like Will Smith too. And here's the thing with most of these people, I still like them, but I do agree that most of them are overrated, that people are too obsessed with them and they're overhyped. That's what overrated means. It doesn't mean you have to hate them, but they are overrated. They're thought of too highly. Anyway, Will Smith, liked him, loved Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, liked his old school raps. I love Men in Black. I love Wild Wild West. The movie sucked. Wild Wild West was a stupid movie. The storyline was garbage. It was a secondhand storyline that they plugged. The one of the writers from the Superman Lives, that was the Tim Burton one that Nic Cage was supposed to be Superman. He was all about the big time giant spider storyline, so he just tried to weasel it into Wild Wild West, and that's why there was the giant steam spider and it didn't make sense. It was stupid. I still liked it. It was action. Will Smith had good jokes. Salma Hayek was in it. Not Ben Klein. Is it Ben Klein? Something Klein. Damn it. It's escaping me from the movie In and Out. Might be Ben Klein. I don't know. Somebody put it in the comments. But entertaining movie. Silly, stupid, entertaining. Not a great movie, though. And then I Am Legend was pretty decent as well as far as entertainment with the hemocytes and all that stuff. I'm trying to think what else he wrote, what else he made. Hitch, I liked Hitch with Kevin James, Doug Heffernan from King of Queens. Pretty, silly entertainment. But if you think about it, he hasn't done a lot of great movies. The Concussion one was a bomb. Pursuit of Happiness I liked, but it was a little over the top. What else? The other one with his son, The Earth, I forgot, Not of This Earth or some crap like that, was an absolute stinker. He did the Con Man movie with Margot Robbie. I think she was in. I forgot the name of that movie. He did a lot of movies that were just forgettable. King Richard, he won an Oscar for, but I mean, talk about taking two wildly successful and hardworking tennis players, sisters, that overcame adversity and became the best in the world at tennis. In their prime, they were both at any given moment the number one tennis player in the world for women's tennis. And the movie was about how their king, their father, was the sole reason behind it. It was all him. So, I don't know. He's overrated. And I know people are going to be angry at that because it's Will Smith, blah, blah, blah. But I love Will Smith, but he's not as great as people think he is. He's just not. So, thank you for that submission. The person who submitted this wished to remain anonymous, but they said they felt that way for years, ever since Fresh Prince stopped airing. After that, it was over for him. All right, this next one here, Harry Styles. Don't get it either. I don't have any issue with Harry, but if I don't even know what songs he sings, you would have to play a bunch of his hit songs, and then I could be like, oh, yeah, maybe I heard of that song. Otherwise, that's all I got on Harry Styles. I have no idea what he brings to the table besides his weird wardrobe, which is for attention, and it's working because people are buzzing about it. Every time he wears a dress or something goofy and weird, or one of those shirts that have holes through the nipples so you can see his nips, whatever he's doing, it's getting attention, and it's eventually getting him money. So from a business sense, it's working for him. But what he's actually bringing to the table, I have no friggin' idea anything about Harry Styles. I know he was in a movie recently only because he was banging Olivia Wilde and she was running the show on the movie. And then it became a disaster. The movie ended up sucking, probably because he's not a great actor. He's not even an actor. He's just a guy. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Harry Styles. He's wildly, wildly popular, and I have no idea why. But good for him. All right, this next one here, thank you for that submission, by the way. The next one here, the mustard girl on TikTok, Tiffany Elizabeth. Here's why. The only reason why I somewhat disagree with this being overrated as a celebrity is because I have no fucking idea, sorry, Terrence Family Show, who Mustard Girl is. And I've asked around to some of my cohorts, sorry, Creature, I didn't ask you, who if they knew who the Mustard Girl was, and they had no idea either. So she might be popular on TikTok. I don't know if she's for kids or she does weird stuff with mustard. She's got some weird diet or whatever. I don't know. But apparently she's popular enough that this person submitting the name sees her out there in the TikTok universe and thinks that she doesn't get the hype. And look, I'll agree with that there. I don't even know this person existed. I had no clue who this person was. I still don't know who they are. So I think that they're appropriately hyped because they're not on my radar. Which is saying something because that means they're not that big. Because my radar only picks up the super popular and not the sub popular. Because I'm not up to date on all that stuff. So anyway, I'll look up Mustard Girl and find out what the hell she's doing out there. I think I saw her on Instagram. That's why I looked it up and realized, oh, she's got a TikTok. That's where she's big. But on Instagram, she had like 125,000 followers. Now, relatively speaking, that's big. I don't have that at all. In fact, I have 124,600 less followers than that. So there's pretty big numbers for that. But for the Instagram world, that's nothing. I think The Rock has like 100 million followers. 300 million followers, something ridiculous. So, Mustard Girl. If anybody knows anything about the Mustard Girl, let me know. This next one here is definitely going to be a hot take for some people. Got to ruffle some feathers. I love it. This one's Will Ferrell. This one's from The Creature. I don't know if he wanted to be, if he wanted his name out there associated with this, but he said Will Ferrell. And I agree. I liked Will Ferrell back in the day in SNL. He was part of funny skits. And then his act got tired quick. Yet he did the same persona and silliness every movie from then on out, and people ate that shit up for reasons I have yet to understand. I will say I liked Night at the Roxbury back in the day when it came out because my maturity level and my age range when it came out, it was very funny and entertaining to me. I loved that song that they had in there. It was silly and stupid and goofy, and I liked it. And I liked Old School, not because Will Ferrell's character, but I think the movie Old School revolutionized and helped change the game of the modern day comedy movie. Not modern day, but the 2000s era comedy movie. That and American Pie changed the game. So I like the movie for those reasons. But Will Ferrell does not really do it for me either. If you look at all his parts in every other movie, it's the same character. Excuse me. I did like him most of the time in the movie The Other Guys until he took on his little gator pimp persona, and then I was out. I was out on Will Ferrell during those portions of that movie. And then, of course, you know how I feel about Elf. I think that's without a doubt the most overrated Christmas movie of all time. And I used to think it was an okay movie, but it's overrated. Now, excuse me, I actually am leaning towards the opinion that I think the movie sucks. Because the more I see it on TV and watch clips of it, and the more I see people putting it in their dating profiles, their social media profiles as like their personality trait, the more I realize that movie is not just overrated, it downright sucks. And I could get into that for hours and hours on why I think it sucks. There's so many plot holes in it that makes the movie completely nonsensical. Even in the Santa Claus world. If you want to say Santa Claus is fake and nonsense, you're entitled to your opinion. I happen to like Santa Claus, and I love Christmas, and I love Christmas movies, so I can suspend disbelief a little bit for that. But everything else in that movie was absolute trash. The fact that he was an adult acting like a 6-year-old child, even more, it wasn't even acting like a 6-year-old child. He was acting like a 3-year-old child, which doesn't make sense because the elves that raised him all were mature adults. So how did he become this absolute big, tall, fat nincompoop. And they were all mature adults and elves. They were just smaller people. I don't understand it. It was stupid. The movie sucked. So I couldn't agree more that I think Will Ferrell's overrated as well. So thank you for that submission. If anyone gives you shit, Orty, Creature, you let me know, and I got your back. I'll take care of it for you. Because he's overrated. Thank you for the submission, though. You're a top-tier guy. Next one here. Love this one. J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez. Now, I know some people are going to get hot. Some of the older demographic might get angry and up in arms about that because J-Lo had a lot of successful albums and movies throughout her career. However, this is from the Bone Crusher. He said she's a mid-level singer, talent-wise. Her movies are meh at best. At best. I think her best movie, I don't even know. Selena? Maybe? That's all I could think of. Made in Manhattan sucked. Anything that she did with Jane Fonda sucks because that lady's a coward and a liar and a criminal and a treasonist. And her songs, I don't even remember some of her songs. She's just super hot. And she's 100 years old, and she's still super hot. But she's had 10 engagements. She can't hold down a husband or a boyfriend. And I know at times it was definitely the dude's fault. A-Rod cheated on her. Ben Affleck and her were toxic together in the beginning, and now they're back together. But when you're engaged, when you have more engagement rings than Tom Brady has Super Bowl rings, you're the problem. Okay? Part of the problem is absolutely you, J-Lo. And the fact that people worship her as this untouchable goddess doesn't make sense to me either. She's just super hot. She's 100 years old and she's super hot for a 100-year-old. That's it. So another great pick by the Brotherhood. So thank you for that, Bone Crusher. All right, this next one here. Tristan Thompson of the NBA. I don't know. Fun. This is a little funny, but the person who said Mustard Girl also said Tristan Thompson. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the NBA. I think the NBA has been garbage. I don't care about it anymore. It's just selfish players bouncing around so they can get easy championship wins and a bunch of money, and then they bail and go out to go do it again with some other team. I don't really get it that much. But Tristan Thompson, apparently, they think he's better than he really is. I don't know. He sounds terrible. So for the sake of being, standing by the junction, I'm with you. I think he's overrated too. So thank you for that submission. All right, the next one here is, excuse me, Vin Diesel. Now, this person said Vin Diesel just makes the same style movie. They're the same actor, the same character in all their movies, and it's garbage and overrated. Now, I absolutely agree that Vin Diesel was the same character in all his movies. I also agree that he's not a great actor. But, and this is other people too, Creature included, think this. I don't think he's overrated. I think he is as appropriately rated by the mass audience as you can rate somebody in Hollywood right now, because we all know he's not good. We all know he's not a good actor. He's going to put out crazy, wild, ridiculous action movies, blockbuster hits that don't make any sense. The acting sucks, but the entertainment is through the roof. All 55 Fast and Furiouses are fun to watch, but they're not good movies. They're not Academy Award-winning movies. They're not anything. They're just fun, silly, no-nonsense entertainment, garbage movies. And I'm here for them. I love them. I love those movies. Triple X, I love those movies. The actions don't have to think about kind of movies. What actors that are way too over the top with their dramatics and overacting Wahlberg style. And I get entertainment out of them. But I think the only person that overrates Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel. He's the only one who thinks he's some sort of top tier thespian style actor where he should be winning awards and he's above it all and it's a craft and this and that. You're a jobber, dude. You're an action jobber. And when you're not doing stupid, silly action movies with your guinea tea, you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're making $1 billion doing it. And I'm here for that too. But I don't think he's overrated by any means. I think he's one of, if not the most appropriately rated garbage actor out there. And I hope he does 55 more Fast and Furious. So thanks for the submission, though. The next one here, they said most politicians in the world, America, whatever, and I agree with that. It's not exactly a hot take, but politicians should not be celebrities. Yet, for some reason, they are. They're supposed to be public servants serving the American citizens. Yet they get on their high horse and they think they're better than everybody else and they don't follow their own laws that they're making us follow. They think they're above it all and they're doing cocaine in the White House and they're spending our taxpayer money and they're flying around on private jets talking about climate change. So, yeah, I think they're all overrated. You know how I feel about politicians. I think they need to all be fired. And I'm not going to say what else I want all of them to do, but I want them to all be out of office. Anyway, good one. Next one here, the royal family. Another supremely overhyped family situation. Now, I thought what Queen Elizabeth was able to do was pretty impressive, being in that position for 85 years, however long she was doing it. Good for her. But the whole royal family being holier than thou, and we had to watch their weddings and their funerals, and every time their kids take a shit, I don't get that at all. In fact, I hate the royal family because they've been harboring a pedophile who's been going to Jeff Epstein's sex pedo island for decades, and they've been protecting him, and all the corruption that goes on within that family and all the crimes against humanity and all the other stuff. They killed Princess Diana because they didn't like her. She would have been queen. Right now, she would have taken over as queen. But they killed her. They had her killed. So I hate the royal family. And I think anytime someone talks about them, I just tune it out because I don't want to give them any more attention than they already have, especially those grifters, Meghan Markle and her cuck husband, whatever, Prince Harry, who I used to like and respect because he was in the military. He actually did combat operations. He was doing the do, and then got caught up with that bimbo, and now he's a beta bitch boy puss with his tail between his legs, just following along, lying to Spotify and Netflix to get money for podcasts they're not even really doing. So, yeah, I hate the royal family. I think they suck. Thank you for that submission. The next one here, this one's stupid. Osama bin Laden. They talked about that guy for years, and I don't understand why he got all this hype, blah, blah, blah. Look, not every joke's going to land. I get it. I want to keep telling people, keep bringing the jokes. Eventually, there'll be funny ones. That's why I never turn down jokes, but this one was a poo-poo. Garbage. Thank you for that garbage submission, pal. Next one here, though, I like Gordon Ramsay. I sort of don't get Gordon Ramsay either. I haven't had any of his food. I don't know what happened in this world when chefs became celebrities. Maybe Julia Childs might have been the first one that brought celebrity and fame to chefhood. I don't understand. I don't know how that all happened. But Gordon Ramsay, get over yourself, dude. Yeah, you can cook some scrambled eggs probably better than me. It's your job. You better be able to do it better than me. But this whole thing that you've been doing for decades of yelling at people and making them feel like shit and making them do all these ridiculous challenges that don't happen in real life just to haze people on live television and make money off of it so you can sell more restaurant chains. I don't get it. I don't get Bobby Flay. I don't get any of those guys that are assholes to people and think who the hell they are about food. Don't forget, we could just stop going to your shit restaurants. So when you treat people like shit, it's not helping your reputation. In fact, I've been to Bobby Flay's burger place, Bobby's Burgers. Not great. Sorry, Bobby. With all that fame and prestige, you'd think you would have got your lisp figured out. But that hasn't happened yet. And Gordon Ramsay. I don't know why you have to be such an asshole to people. Is that how you became a good chef? By being hazed and abused verbally on live television? Until you either figure it out, you're off yourself? Is that what happens? Is that how the chef community runs? I don't know. So I agree with this one. Thank you for that submission. Now, the final submission here is not, I agree with it. It was going to be my submission, but it doesn't have to be now because somebody else submitted it. And it's Beyonce. And I know the Bumblebee bozos are going to be up in arms if anybody even listens to this episode that is a Bumblebee or whatever they want to call themselves. But Beyonce is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the most overrated celebrity out there. She was only halfway decently successful when she was with Destiny's Child because her mom made the costumes for them, for the band, the troupe, whatever, and they were a good team together. And then she went off on her own, and I don't think she's put out a good song since. They're garbage. Trash. She married Jay-Z, who I think, conversely, or whatever the word it is, whatever the big person word is, might be one of the most talented hip-hop artists that we've ever seen. I think she's the most overrated. Her songs, in my opinion, suck. They're not good at all. They don't make any sense. And I think they're also hurting society. All the single ladies, first of all, the music video is just her and a couple other jabronis in one-piece bathing suits doing the same move over and over again, saying that if you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. That is such bad advice for relationships. It sets such a terrible tone of what standards in relationships should be. Just because you like somebody, if you like me, you better get engaged to me and give me a ring, or I'm leaving. I'm walking because I'm too good for that. It just created these unrealistic standards of dating and relationships, and it certainly hasn't helped the relationship community in the past 2 decades or whenever the stupid song came out, because divorces are still at a 50% rate. 740,000 people are getting divorced a year in this country because these stupid bitches are telling everybody, hey, if you like me, you better get engaged to me or else. And these beta bitch boy cuck dudes are out there like, oh, I better get a ring for her because I like her. You don't get engaged to someone just because you like them. Okay, you don't make a decision to spend the rest of your life with somebody just because you like them and because they're giving you this crazy, unrealistic ultimatum that they got from a stupid bullshit song by a hack artist. That's not how it's supposed to work. All you're doing, you're setting yourself up for unhappiness and failure. And it's all thanks to that idiot. I guess she's not an idiot. Business-wise, she's making a killing. She's convinced all these other bozos and morons that she's successful and influential. And she's an idiot. And she's got this cult around her, the Beehive. And she's the queen bee. because she's some fat ass idiot who married Jay-Z. And now she's going to the White House. She's involved in politics and all this other crap. And she doesn't know shit from Shinola. And on top of that, I can't state this enough. Her music sucks. It's not catchy. It's not clever. There's no layers behind it. It sucks. And her costumes suck too ever since her mom stopped making them. So I don't get the hype on Beyonce whatsoever, even more so than I don't get the hype on anybody else on this list. She's not good. Okay? And the things she says are stupid and not well thought out at all. She's a moron in that regard. Business-wise, clearly very savvy. Probably because she listens to Jay-Z, and that's why she's become so successful. Because she's shut up and listened to him. But she's an overrated artist. A garbage influence. I consider her to be a bad influence on society. A terrible actress. Did you see her in Goldmember? Austin Powers 3 Goldmember? Terrible. Terrible. Worse than Mark Wahlberg. So I absolutely don't get Beyonce. She is the most overrated on my list, in my opinion. Her and the Kardashians. That's a close one, thinking about it now. That's a close one because Kim Kardashian has literally done nothing but bend over. So I don't know. What do I know? I get 40 views a YouTube episode. So what the hell do I know? Maybe I'm the most overrated, some people might say. Who knows? But that's all I got today, folks. That's it. Thank you for the submissions. I hope I didn't forget anybody's submissions. This was fun. We'll do more like these. I love hot takes. I love getting the pot stirred, grinding gears, whatever other phrase you want to use. So thank you for that. Before we go, the big three, the 3 pillars to staying strong, being a better, happier, kinder, more genuine human being. Number 1, exercise every day. Do something for exercise, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally. Exercise one thing every day. Go for a walk, meditate, read a book, pray, do yoga, work out, whatever. Do something. Number 2, the hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person, be a good person. Whenever there's an opportunity to be a shitty person, take the step back and just omit yourself from the situation, and you minimize the shittiness in the world. And you can focus on the more positive things. And it's the toughest one because emotionally, it's so easy to get caught up in it. It happens to me on a daily basis. It happened to me with the current events. I wanted to get caught up in all that negative shit. So I get it. Number 3, the most important one to me, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. Think about the good things you have, why they're good, and what your life would be like without those things. Your life would be a lot shittier, I promise you. So instead of taking them for granted, be grateful for them. Thank your lucky stars that they're around in your lives. Do that stuff. Do those 3 things, and I promise you, you do that every day. You focus on that every day, you'll be a better, happier, kinder, more genuine human being. So that's all I got today, guys. Now I'm done. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the hotline, 202-670-1114. Let's get the hotline calls going, please. I love the hotline calls. I love interacting with you guys in that forum. Please send some hotline calls, even if they're stupid, even if they're dumb Bin Laden jokes or real stinkers. Send them over, please. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.